How are we doing, guys? Always to be. And why am I wearing a Spanish shirt again? Why am I wearing a Spanish shirt again? I'll tell you why I'm wearing a Spanish shirt again. Because Leeds United have announced another Spanish signing. Diego Llorente on a 4-year deal from Sociedad for an undisclosed fee. So another centre-back has arrived at the football club. And this is a player I've seen a couple of times play. And I've got to tell you guys, I'm happy with this one. I really am happy with this one. A really encouraging signing. And the type of signing that I think we need at the minute. You know, I think the type of signing that gives us something, a different kind of presence. You know, I think it's very much experience at the top level. You know, Diego Llorente for the last 5 or 6 years has been a regular at La Liga. And look, La Liga, Premier League, top divisions of European football. At the end of the day, it gives us that experience. And for me, this is the top signing. This is the top signing. I've obviously recent times from what I've seen of Diego Llorente, one game that really stands out is Barcelona versus Real Sociedad. Obviously, Diego Llorente signed from Sociedad. He really stood out in that game. You know, I do watch a bit of Spanish footballs, especially Barcelona Real Madrid games, and obviously do come across with Sociedad the odd time of season. And I do remember from that game how much he stood out. You know, I think in terms of Antoine Griezmann, who started up front in that game for Barcelona, he didn't have a kick. You know, Diego Llorente seems to be given a man-marking job on Antoine Griezmann. You know, one of the best forwards in European football. You know, one of the best forwards in European football. He didn't have a kick in the game. Diego Llorente was absolutely outstanding in that game, and I think he came off in that game actually with an injury. Barcelona went on to win it later on with a penalty. So, you know, he was solid. He was solid in that game. Seen him play a couple of other times as well, and he looked solid. And look, you know, for me, I think Diego Llorente isn't your kind of modern kind of centre back in the sense that, you know, he's one of those centre backs like a Ben White or Pontus Jansson who follows the centre forward towards the halfway line. I don't think he's that type of centre back. I think he's more of a disciplined centre back, more of a leader for me. You know, than a Ben White, Pontus Jansson. Not necessarily better than Ben White. You know, look, it's hard to say. It's hard to do these comparisons, etc., etc. But I do think he gives us something different to Robin Koch and Liam Cooper. And look, you know, I think in terms of our priorities, you know, from a fan's perspective, for me, I wasn't really looking at centre-back as a massive priority area. You know, obviously we've still got Robin Koch, you know, who's just arrived. Obviously Pascal Struijk did okay against Liverpool, etc, etc. Liam Cooper, obviously the undisputed captain. I wasn't really looking at the centre-back area and thinking, yeah, that's something we desperately need to strengthen. But I did think we could strengthen it. I didn't think we had to strengthen it, but we could strengthen it. And that's what we've done. You know, we've looked at the first 2 games for me, and look, this signing has come out of nowhere. You know, Phil Hay, Graham Smith, 48 hours ago, weren't talking about Diego Llorente. No one realistically was talking about Diego Llorente, and it's just sort of happened in the last 36 hours, day and a half. All of a sudden, this Spanish international has been linked with the football club, and it's absolutely superb. It's an absolutely superb signing, this, because, you know, Diego Llorente I look at and think, positional sense, spot on, good in the air, strong in the air, good passer of the ball. You know, he'll get pressed, very press resistant, like a Spanish type centre half, comfortable on the ball, can dribble a little bit as well. And yeah, there's a lot to like about him. There's a couple of little bits and pieces you look at him and think, okay, he's not particularly quick. He has had a bit of an injury record last couple of years, but all in all, I look at it and think he can complement this Leeds United defence really well. You look at the first 2 games, Liverpool and Fulham especially, we were very open. Yeah, we were very open in that Fulham game, especially last half an hour, and it was a bit concerning. But I wouldn't necessarily put it down just to the centre-backs. You know, I would have said, obviously, not having a proper midfielder alongside Matthijs Klick, or a proper number 10 alongside Matthijs Klick, played its part as well. But to be fair, yeah, there is midfielders being linked to. You know, Campagna, Malinovsky, and of course Rodrigo de Paul. You know, we are being linked to midfielders too. So let's not panic too much about that. You know, it still sounds like we're looking at midfielders too. So it's not necessarily a case of Llorente's coming in, that means we're happy with our midfields. You know, we can strengthen 2 areas at once. That's the key thing here. But I look at that Fulham game especially and think, okay, maybe, you know, we do need that competition as well, because, you know, we're looking at it in a minute. If Koch or Cooper got injured, we wouldn't have a senior centre-back to come into the team. And now with Llorente, but for me, Llorente isn't a backup. You know, he's not a backup here. You know, we look at Gaetano Berardi, you know, as much as I love Berra, Diego Llorente isn't coming into this football club to do what Gaetano Berardi does. He's coming into this football club to start games. And then for me, he is a starting 11 quality in this team. Whether it's alongside Cooper or Koch, I do look at him and think he's a complete package. You know, his discipline is superb. You know, he's got a couple of errors in him, but in general, positionally, he's one of those defenders you look at and think, when you're in the Premier League, when you need that little bit of discipline, sort of like a John Egan kind of discipline like Sheffield United had last season, the Conor Cody like discipline Wolves had 2 seasons before, it makes a step up so much easier. When you've got the confidence of someone who's so experienced at the top level. He's played 5 or 6 seasons at La Liga level, that's one of the top, well, among the top 5 divisions of European football, pretty much on a par with Premier League football. You've got to be very, very encouraged with this. He's played for Real Madrid. He's going to have the respect of his dressing room before he's even walked through the door. But he's a Spanish international at the end of the day. There's no doubt about that at all. So there's a lot to be happy with this, guys. There's a lot to be happy with this, and I do think he fits this team well because he can play right centre back, left centre back. The left side, right side of the centre back partnership. He can play in the back 3. He can play full back. He's very much versatile, like a Gaetano Berardi to an extent. But for me, he will force his way into this team. I do have that feeling. He's going to force his way into the team because he's a quality player, and that can only be good news for Leeds United. It can only be good news for Liam Cooper, Robin Koch, because it will push them. It will really push both players. Because look, there's been a lot of criticism for both, but we've not seen that partnership properly yet, have we, between Koch and Cooper. But it's always good to have competition in the team. Always good to have competition in the team. We look at it realistically. I don't think Llorente starts at Sheffield United away. I don't think we're going to put him into a Yorkshire derby for his debut after 2 days within signing. But it's good. It is good. I think it gives Robin Koch, especially, a young centre back who probably is more naturally gifted than Llorente from what I've seen. Not to say Llorente is not talented, but I think he does give Robin Koch, the younger defenders, someone to really look up to an extent, because he's a top player, this guy. He's a top player. Look, I know Sociedad fans have made out a lot about his bad end to the season, his bad season coming into this football club. But I look at the team he's playing in at Sociedad, very attack-minded team. He's having to cover so much space in that Sociedad team. And with his injury records, his lack of pace, it didn't particularly suit him. But at Leeds United, I think he comes into this football club as a team that suits his style perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. He can play right side, left side, no problem at all. Because he knows you've got Mateusz Klich, Calvin Phillips, Jack Harrison, blocking space in front, and Diego Llorente isn't going to have to do a lot of running. He's just going to have to use his head, read situations, anticipate, and position himself perfectly. That's all a centre-back essentially needs to do in this team. It's not to say the centre-back's position's easy, but in the Marcelo Bielsa team, because we're so attack-minded, we've got so much energy in the team who will cover spaces, do the shift defensively, as will help the Costa, etc, etc. Everyone's willing to work hard, and it makes it so much easier for a defender in the middle of the pitch. So much easier. And that's the thing. I'm not saying it's going to be easy for Llorente, but for me, Sociedad fans have been very critical, saying he made mistakes last season, and that's true. He did make mistakes last season, but he's coming into a team which suits his style a lot better. He just needs a leader in that back 4 just to direct everyone. And look, Coops for me is the undisputed captain of this team. But in terms of Llorente, he's that experience at the top flight. He's that experience at the top flight of European football. He's played internationally. He knows. He knows where everyone needs to be. And for me, that's what he's going to do. He's going to be like that figurehead who's just going to say, you need to be there, you need to be there. And he's going to arrange this back 4 for us. And for me, that's only good news for Leeds United. It's only going to improve Robin Koch. It's only going to improve Liam Cooper. Everyone in that back 4 having a presence like this in the team. And I think he's a superb player, to be honest. I think he's a superb player. He's got a couple of weaknesses. What centre-back in the world doesn't have weaknesses? And that's the big thing for me. I think it's a superb deal, guys. I really do. Fantastic one to get over the line. Let us know in the comments down below your feelings on this one. I'm just going to quickly read to you some reaction from Llorente himself to Leeds United. Just a quick statement from Diego Llorente. To be here is an honour and it's a good challenge for me. The decision was very easy. I'm looking forward to getting started and helping my teammates. And something else he said as well was that it was one of the easiest decisions of his career. It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable. The standards of this football club compared to kind of like 2 or 3 years ago. It's unbelievable how far this football club's come. That we're able to tempt players to this football club with that much ease. He's only linked 36 hours ago and we've got the deal done. Fantastic news. Hopefully we get a midfielder as well. But for me, I'm looking at that centre-back pairing now. I'm thinking we've got so much quality now. We've got a lot of quality in this team. Maybe just get a midfielder. And I think we're pretty much there, good to go. I'm really happy with this signing, guys. I'm really happy with this. Just let us know in the comments down below your feelings on it. And how you think Big Diego is going to fit in at this team? Is he going to come in place of Koch? Is he going to come in place of Cooper? Or is he going to be on the bench to start with? Let us know in the comments down below, guys. And anyone else who has seen a bit of Diego Llorente, let us know your feelings on him. Because, to be honest, that masterclass at the Camp Nou, I think I might watch that again at some point. Absolutely superb in that game. And he's a top player. You don't get to play for Spain if you're not a top player. Same with Rodrigo. Absolutely buzzing, guys. I'm going to leave it there. Make sure you check out our other videos coming out before the Sheffield United game. I also did a fantastic interview with our very own Leaf Davis. Make sure you check that out on the channel, guys. I was absolutely buzzing to get that video done. There will be a link in the description down below for the who we did it with, Autograph Sports Management. Please check the link out down below. It was absolutely buzzing to do the interview, guys. I got some fantastic souvenirs off Leaf as well, which you will be seeing in the studio in the next couple of days, to be fair, on videos. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Anyway, it's caught me a bit by surprise, this, as you can imagine. I've just come in from work and thought, right, I need to get a video done on Diego Llorente. But absolutely buzzing with this one, guys. How quick it's happened, and we have got some serious options at the back for Leeds United. And I'm going to leave it there, guys. Anyway, see you later.